I'm listening to nearly 100 albums from the year 1955, and I just finished listening to Perez Prado and Shorty Rogers with Voodoo Suite plus six all time greats released on RCA Victor. Perez Prado, the king of mambo, as it were. These days, he's perhaps most notable from a long term cultural impact standpoint for writing the song Mambo Number 5, which the German singer Lou Bega would cover in the late 90s and turn into a massive international hit. But Prado certainly, I think, very, very responsible for the rise of mambo as a cultural phenomenon in the early to mid 1950s for sure. Shorty Rogers, great trumpet player. And this record is interesting. It's really broken into two distinct halves. The first half is the Voodoo Suite itself, this titular track, which is about like over 20 minutes long. And it's this sweeping overview on like New Orleans type of music in this very like exotica meets experimental big band type of way. It's really odd, it's really cool, and it's really just interesting. It's really damn interesting. And on the basis of that alone, this is really strong. And I do think that A side is worth checking out. That said, the B side is not bad by any means, but it is essentially mambo interpretations of a lot of kind of classic standards, popular hits from the previous 20 years or so. So, like, Glenn Miller's In the Mood is one example where they do a mambo version of that. And it's not bad, but it definitely has much more of a novelty feel. It has not aged particularly well. And again, I can admire the execution of it all, but it's definitely trivial in a sense that I don't think the interpretations add much to the original material necessarily. So you're left with these very distinct halves. I think the first half is really interesting. Certainly, I think as interesting as like pseudo exotica music gets. And the second half is the product of a fad. And all in all, this is a record that I think is worth listening to because the playing is excellent, and Shorty Rogers definitely, his trumpet is a key point in making that happen. It's worth listening to. Just understand that I do think the A side is ultimately where a lot of the great stuff is. But Voodoo Suite plus six all time greats, Perez Prado and Shorty Rogers. Yeah, really interesting record. I think one of the more distinct albums of 1955 for sure.